Let's just jump right into this explainer. Have you noticed lately that your attention span feels, well, completely cooked? Like you try to sit down and read a single page of a physical book, but your brain is basically screaming at you, demanding to have some random Subway Surfers gameplay running underneath the text just to keep you stimulated? It's this agonizing, totally modern reality where we literally need constant, dual stimulation just to exist. We're always chasing that next hit of digital noise. So, is your attention span actually cooked? Honestly, we've all been there. Picture this. You sit down at your desk with the absolute best intentions in the world. You're going to study, you're going to focus, you're going to crush your to-do list, right? So you open your laptop, take a deep breath, and before you've even processed the very first sentence of your work, your hand has instinctively reached out and grabbed your phone. You're swiping before your conscious brain even knows what's happening. It's incredibly frustrating, and honestly, it's so easy to beat yourself up over it. We're dealing with what we call literal brain rots. But listen, I really want to validate what you're feeling right now because this is absolutely not a moral failing. You aren't lazy. You're lacking focus because months, maybe even years, of short-form doom scrolling, endless notifications, and just absolute hyperstimulation have heavily rewired your dopamine receptors. Your brain isn't just bored right now, it's actively drowning. You've basically conditioned your mind to expect a shiny new reward every 3 seconds. But here is where we pivot from despair to some actual hope. The absolute game changer here is neuroplasticity. That's your brain's ability to physically heal, change, and rewire itself. Your brain is incredibly plastic. It adapts to whatever environment you put it in. Think about it. Because you trained it to be distracted, you can absolutely train it to be focused again. It can heal. And the best part of all this? You don't have to pack up your entire life and go throw your smartphone into a lake to do it. So here is our roadmap. A very realistic 3-step detox to clear out that digital sludge. First up, the dopamine taper. Second, injecting digital friction. And third, rebuilding your focus muscle. All right, step 1, the dopamine taper, where we start easing off all that digital noise. Look, if I told you to go cold turkey right now, like lock your phone in a safe and go live in a wooden cabin for a week, you'd probably last exactly 4 hours before you started physically twitching. Your brain would go into literal shock. So we taper. 80%, that is the massive amount of hypnotic power an app like TikTok loses the second you switch your phone screen to grayscale. By jumping into your accessibility settings and just stripping away the color, those bright candy-colored app icons suddenly look incredibly dull. I mean, tech companies spend millions engineering those exact shades of red and blue just to trigger dopamine spikes in your brain. By turning your screen black and white, you're instantly taking that control right back. The next part of our taper is what we call the one-screen rule. Just compare watching a single movie on your TV versus the all-too-familiar reality of watching a movie while scrolling TikTok on your phone while simultaneously playing some game on your iPad. I'm challenging you to kill that habit today. If you're watching something, just watch it. You have to actively force your brain to tolerate experiencing just one single stream of stimulation at a time. It's going to feel uncomfortably quiet at first for sure, but that discomfort, that is literally the feeling of your brain actually healing. Which brings us to step 2, injecting digital friction. This is all about killing the frictionless loop. See, brain rot absolutely thrives in friction-free environments. These algorithms are explicitly designed by some of the smartest engineers on the planet to feed you content instantly, before you can even consciously think about whether you actually want to watch it. We have to kill that frictionless loop, and we do it with 3 highly tactical deterrents. First, take your biggest doom scroll apps off your home screen and bury them inside a folder on the very last page of your phone. Out of sight, out of mind. Second, if you really want to level up, delete the apps entirely and only use the mobile web browser versions. And here's the real kicker. Log out every single time you use them. Having to manually type in your password every single time you want to scroll is a massive, annoying obstacle. And that annoyance is exactly what we want. That friction buys your brain a crucial 3 seconds to stop and ask, wait, do I actually want to do this right now? Now, that final deterrent is absolutely critical because it protects you from having a ruined baseline focus. This is the 20-minute morning rule. When you wake up tomorrow, do not touch your phone for the first 20 minutes. If the very first thing your brain receives the second you open your eyes is a massive algorithmic dopamine hit from scrolling, well, your baseline focus for the entire rest of the day is completely ruined. You're just going to be chasing that high until you go back to sleep. You have to protect those first 20 minutes fiercely. Okay, moving to step 3, rebuilding your focus muscle. It's time to heal that atrophied attention span. You really need to think of your focus like a muscle that has severely atrophied.
If your arm has been stuck in a cast for 6 months, you can't just stroll into a gym and bench press 100 pounds on day one. You gotta start small. And we start small with what we call monotonic microdoses. Reading a physical book, sketching on a piece of paper, heck, even just doing the dishes. Pick one of these totally analog activities and do it for just 10 minutes without looking at your phone. Now here is the secret. The urge to check your notifications is going to hit you like a tidal wave. It's totally inevitable. But when it happens, don't panic. Just acknowledge the urge, take a deep breath, let it pass, and gently pull your attention back to what you're doing. You're literally doing reps for your brain right there.
Finally, just stand there. Let your mind wander. The next time you're waiting in line for a coffee or riding up in an elevator, do not pull out your phone. Just stand there. Embrace that boredom. Let your mind wander off into the dead silence. Because you know that boring, empty space you've been so desperately trying to avoid all day? That is exactly where human creativity and true mental clarity actually live. I really want to leave you with this reassuring thought today. Your brain isn't permanently broken. It's just tired. It's been running a nonstop digital marathon for years without a single water break. If you just give it a few days of reduced stimulation using these steps, I promise you're going to be shocked at how much clearer your thoughts become. You're going to find it easier to concentrate, easier to engage with the real physical worlds around you, and honestly, just a whole lot easier to breathe. So, what's the big takeaway from this explainer? Well, I have a challenge for you today. Go into your phone settings right now, turn on grayscale, and just experience it for yourself. I really want to know, does grayscale actually make your phone feel depressing? Try it out today, observe how it completely changes your urge to scroll, and think about the sheer amount of power you're taking back. Until next time, stay focused.